Hey guys, it's me, Friller here, and I don't know why my video is playing. But I thought like I do a special video for you guys. For about over a year now, I made a video regarding my old cat socks, which you can see right here. And it's been officially, well, slightly a little over, but it's been officially 1 year since he has passed. And I figured I'd do something special for him, you know. I feel like every year we make another special tribute and telling of the story of socks. Now, obviously, if you guys feel emotional about with animal passing and stuff like that, I do recommend that if you cannot handle an emotional feeling or scene with an animal that passes or something like that, then I recommend don't watch the video if you feel like you're going to be emotionally unable to control yourself and all that. I just want to state this is not him dead. This was him just sleeping. Because a little backstory to the video with him was there were one or two times I recorded the video. One time I recorded literally when he was dead, and then I was bawling my eyes out, and I did the most wrong thing any pet owner should do, and I showed off my cat who died. Also, I don't know why this is happening. That's weird. Let me just do this. There. I don't know why I did that. But, um, and I did not want to record that video. And I actually did upload it, but I deleted it after some people saw me. And there were a couple people that understood I was extremely upset and everything like that, and definitely got on my case about it and deleted the video. And I looked back and I was completely wrong to do that. Then the second time I recorded it, I was making apologies to said people for what they were saying and everything like that regarding to how I said and attributed how it sucks death win and everything. And then I looked back and I was thinking to myself, that's not a fair video. I could be, putting people's names out there, jeopardizing their names and their careers potentially. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be taken out of contents like that. So I'm just gonna not even gonna record it. So this thing we have right here is the third attempt recording the video, and it was the final project that went out. And so we're gonna relive the moments with socks. I'm just gonna keep the image on the screen, and we're not gonna actually watch my own video because it sounds a little egotistical and everything like that. Also, sorry if I had to just show you like a whole YouTube page and stuff like that. I, for some reason, could not get this thing to work. I could have either gotten a picture, but I think the pictures were way too scroll back and I didn't have time to do it. But I wanted to get this video set on this. So, or I believe, yeah, this was when I had Bandicam back in the day. If you guys don't know what Bandicam was, a free app where they gave you the process to record up to 10 minutes of footage for free unless you bought the whole thing to set it up and stuff like that. Which definitely recommend Bandicam if you're looking just to make 10-minute videos and stuff like that. Really good site. But now that we've got OBS working, I want to make not exactly a longer video, but a little more of an informative video about how socks was for me. And I want to do this every single year so that way I never forget about socks and I can keep remembering socks for the rest of my life since he was such a good cat. So, for those that are new and are ready to hear the story, then here we go. So the story of socks was about now 2 years ago. I went because everyone's remembered my cat Sneaky. Ruler's badass cat, which that video no longer exists. But you guys, if we remember in long time channel viewers, it's my cat Sneaky. Eventually, I would do an update video and you'll get to see him or something like that, maybe. But I don't know. But Sneaky had his own life by himself here. He used to have a cat that was named Chester that was with my sister. Because my sister and I lived together in the same apartment because we wanted to get away from our families and want to live in our own lives and everything like that. And, excuse me, he just wanted to live his own life and everything like that. So that's what he did. And her life, and that's what she did. So then Sneaky was alone, and I can tell that at times Sneaky was extremely sad, miserable, and just wanted a friend slash brother to have around. So that's what I thought. You know what? I'm gonna go get myself a cat, and that's where I went to the not exactly my local humane society, but the humane society I was route about 45 minutes to an hour away from me. That was not exactly close by and stuff, but I went in there and I was looking for another cat. There were one or two cats that were kind of still like kittens, but they didn't really respond well to me. And then I tried some of the other cats that I thought were really good. They didn't really respond well to me. It was until I went into one of the doors because one of the cool things we have at that humane society is that there's these things called the walk-in doors where you can walk inside the door and there's like several cats and everything like that, and you can interact with like several of them, and they close the door behind you so that we have some not like intimacy or something like that, but kind of like these like private times with them so you could excuse me, but have these special moments and stuff with him. So yeah, and when I went in there, there were like three cats. Two of them really, really were hitting off of me. Like the first thing that Socks did was he was licking my hand, giving me kisses. He wanted pets, and then after like leaving the room to try to look around, I heard him just meowing for me to come back. And at that point, it almost felt like, yeah, he's the one. It wasn't exactly at first sight because of the fact that I went to other cats, but it was when I locked eyes with him specifically the first one I went to that room, it looked like he was the one. And excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, but I went and I talked to him, and every time I was filling out the papers, he kept meowing like, "Come on, let me out, let me out, come with me," and it was so adorable. And a fun fact for you guys: when I adopted him, he was about almost 5.5 years old. So to answer anyone's potential questions, why I would adopt a cat that was somewhat old and everything like that, he, if you got to meet Socks when he was at my place, you would never expect this guy to be a 5 year old cat. You would expect to see an overgrown sized kitten. He was so loving, so affectionate, such an easy cat to get along with. Unfortunately, my other cat, they would cause massive fights, and I had to keep them in separate rooms so that way they couldn't do this and that. But nonetheless, I wanted to get him this cat, and obviously it didn't work out, but it kind of worked out still in a way where I was able to have some one-on-one time with him, then have one-on time with Sneaky, and just kind of back and forth. And he was such a loving cat. As you can see, he didn't have a lot of color on him. It was kind of mostly white, and but I liked him. I would have named him Patches. But what was funny is when we went to go and get a free not vetch, rabies shot, he kept responding to me when I said Socks. So it was like, you know what? He responds so well to me. Why change his name? And that's why I kept his name as Sock, because you can legally, well, not legally, but like you can actually change their names once you fill out the paper and everything like that. And then you can start calling them by a different name. But there's two problems with doing that. One, the cat hasn't known you at all, so it's gonna be hard to respond. And two, they've been growing up with that name for so many years that it's hard to change. So I thought, you know what? He responds so well, I'm gonna keep his name as Socks. So that's why I decided to keep his name as Socks, by the way, in case anyone felt curious about that. But yeah, this dude, as you can see, he was so chilled, so relaxed. He was such a good boy. He would never really do anything to upset me. He was just so comfortable, and he just loved everything, man. He just loved being with me, just chilling with me. Yes, I know that part of my room was a mess, but it's still a mess, so don't worry. But I just love Socks every single moment. And for anyone that was curious of how his passing came to be, just out of the blue on a random day, I think either in the beginning or just at the very end, maybe. No, it'd have to be either the beginning or maybe just maybe in the or like the beginning middle of March. All of a sudden, Socks got a little overweight. It seemed like a little more bigger than he was, and all of a sudden became slow. Didn't really felt like moving. Didn't really want to show any signs of just wanting to chill and everything like that. So I took care of so I took care of him immediately. Booked a visit with the vet. I tried to get as much early as possible, but the vet just was not allowing me. After I specifically told them that my cat, something was wrong with him and everything like that, they just still would not push the vet bill back. And I don't want anyone in the comment section going like, "Then the vets are terrible" and stuff like that. Sometimes certain vets just cannot get to your animals in time, and plus vets do take care of more than just dogs and cats. Some certain vets do have to take care of horses, cows, ducks, and just so many other potential animals, whether they're household or farm animals and stuff. So please don't think that the vet is the reason why Socks died and everything like that. Do not do that. And I will delete your comments if you do that. And to every single person that does this like little thing dot like something like that in the comments. If you don't stop, I'm gonna keep reporting you, and I'm gonna seriously make sure you guys will never be allowed on YouTube ever again. I am sick and tired of seeing those stupid, somewhat commercial ad stuff in my comment sections. Knock it off, unless you really have that much of a no life. Now, if I see any on these, I will make sure you are heavily reported to YouTube. Anyways, back to my story with Socks. So basically, what happened with Socks is, like I said, he suddenly all of a sudden his stomach was expanded a little bit. He kind of looked a bit more bigger than he was, and he just didn't want to move. And I know what a lot of people would think. He could have just gotten fat. That and fat cats sometimes do that. But for those who know, I have another common fat cat. It was Callie, but she moves around just fine. She moves around just normal. It's just like if she was obviously overweight, she was overweight, and she moved around just fine. But what happened with him is I made sure he had his own room, so that way so Sneaky couldn't come and attack him like they would roughhouse and stuff. But every time I checked on him, he stayed in one spot, didn't move. I don't think he really even ate or drank that much. Then I was starting to see some signs of improvement from him because he moved from his one spot to a different spot, which was making me believe, okay, maybe he's okay. Maybe there's just something that we can fix and he's gonna be good. It wasn't until after I finished playing some free for alls, basically like the multiplayer function on Sword and Shield, and everyone just choose to fight everyone else. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen a free for all. It's right after I finished getting on a call with with some buds and the game. I went to go check on him like I do every night just to make sure he's still doing okay. And once I legit just put my hand on his head, or I believe it was on his back, I instantly knew he was gone. And for anyone that's wondering how I would believe that he was instantly gone, it's when I touched him that I knew he either was really warm for some reason, or if he just was gone because I didn't see him make any movement. I didn't see him really communicate to when I opened the door, and when I went to check on him, he's shown signs of death. And I didn't want to believe it, but the more I just looked at him, tried to examine him, and not anything dangerous or anything, so don't think that, he shows signs of death. And I cried essentially the rest of that night from like, I think it was like 9 something to like midnight maybe. I just cried. And I was just heartbroken because it was literally it was like the anniversary of when I first got Socks too. Either it was the day of, the day before, the day after, one of the two, of the anniversary when I went to adopt him. And I was ready to give him like kind of like this party and stuff like that. So I'm just I'm just really upset that he's gone. He was one of the and he became a reason for me to start changing who I am, start realizing that, life's important. I gotta make sure I'm keeping myself healthy. I'm keeping my other animals and his brothers healthy and sisters and stuff. And I just gotta do what I have to do. So it's still sometimes tough. And if anyone's actually kind of curious, I actually do keep Socks on my phone. If you were to ever somewhere, if you got the chance to meet me and I showed you my phone, you would see the wallpaper, well, partially gets covered him up, but in this next screen over it, it's literally him when he became the big, and it's the last happy picture of him I have left. And I'm always having that there to remind me of him so I never forget him. And if anyone's wondering why I do this to never forget him and think it's bad because I can get emotionally attached and I can start crying when I see this image, for me, I don't get that emotional and I actually don't cry when I look at the image. I just look at it as a reminder that he's still here, he's still above. Because the reason why he was in the Humane Society is that unfortunately his owner had also had passed away, and that's why he was taken into the Humane Society. So, in a blessing kind of curse type of way, the curse is that he's away from me. The blessing, however, for him is now that he's up there, he can go and meet his former owner and be reunited with him and have the fun time up in heaven. And if heaven allowed animals to talk, then he can be able to talk to his old owner and tell him how this one guy took a chance with him and gave him another loving home that he loved and was happy in. And to me, that's all I should always be grateful and thankful for when of having him and for when he passed is that at least before he passed, I was the one that took a chance on him and gave him a home when probably maybe no one else would have given him a home. And I did something that probably a lot of people wouldn't do, which was adopt an elderly cat. And people might use this as an excuse to say, like, here's an example why you don't do it. Don't believe what people say. If you find yourself in love with an elderly cat in an adoption place and everything like that, I say go ahead and grab him. If he shows signs like my cat has, he's definitely worth it because he just loves cuddling, affection, being petted, everything. And that's how Socks was for me. He was just he almost was like a perfect cat, man. And he was 5 years. He was 5.5 when I had him, and he at least lived out to be 6 before he passed. So, yep, that's the sec. This is the tribute of Socks, everybody. I hope everyone leaves. If you do watch this video and you feel like commenting down something, please do at least comment down a nice thing that you have to say about any potential animal that you've had in your past or something like that, just to so we can relate, so we can be able to understand how it feels when our best friends are gone, because some people don't believe this, but animals literally are your best friend. There's a reason why people say dogs are man best friend because they are the best friends there. Cats are like that. Ducks are like that. Guinea pigs are even like that to some people out there as well. So I do recommend that you all make sure you cherish your animals and please do whatever you are doing to make sure they stay healthy, happy, and with love. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop taking up so much of your time. For anyone that watched the video and watched it all the way to the end, thank you so much for paying your respects to Socks. It means the world to me, and I'm sure it would have meant the world to him. And Socks, if for some reason YouTube is allowed in heaven and you can understand everything I am saying, I want to say I miss you again. I still miss you, buddy. I love you, and I will never, ever forget you. Now, before I may potentially start crying, I am going to end the video. So, if anyone sticked around, thank you so much for watching. If you if you do leave a like, just know it's one prayer sent up to Socks, which would mean the world. It's not recommended. I'm not forcing you to, but if you want to, I would appreciate the one like for one prayer for him. And again, if you feel like leaving a comment about a story that you would like to discuss about your animal, I would love it so that way we can relate and we can be able to get to know each other more. And yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. This is me and Socks. And before we go, I love you, Socks. I miss you, brother. And for everyone else, thank you for watching. Till next time, peace.